everyone, and welcome to Fika for Life!
Yay! Every single week,
Exactly. we like to eat
scream
Fika.
out, Fika for Life!
We're on the bus, and we're just like, Fika for Life!
And everyone's like, what?
Last week, I met the president of the Prime Minister of Sweden.
Did you?
Yeah. And
you did?
Yeah. And he says, so what's your favorite thing to do? And I said, Fika for Life!
Oh my God.
No, I didn't meet him. I'm just kidding. Lynn! I mean, didn't you see my joking face?
No.
I guess I always look like that.
Yes, you do.
All right, my name is Edward Thomas, and my co-host is...
Linh and Hey, guys.
Every day, every time, same Lynn.
Yeah, same Ed.
Well, I mean, that's like a blessing.
I hope people enjoyed our last episodes. I hope you guys have listened to them. If not, pause this one. Go listen to another one before.
Exactly. And share it with a friend.
Yes.
Like cook some popcorn and make some really good chocolate chip cookies with hot chocolate and then sit down with your friends and then be enlightened by our wisdom from the east, west, north, and the south.
Whoop, whoop.
It's just like the Kingdom of Oz.
Oh, yeah.
Follow the yellow background. Follow the yellow background.
Wow. I think you should have more like time relevant.
Was that like, am I showing I'm an old man again?
Yes.
You've never seen The Wizard of Oz?
I think, no, I think we had it in school though.
Really?
I remember we had it in school, but I don't know. I think we had to read sections from it. I don't think we got to watch it anyway.
No,
like about the shoes and about the different...
you grew up in East Germany, so I mean, of course.
Excuse me?
Excuse.
Now you're not a supporting friend.
Well, and that's what we're going to talk about today.
Mm-hmm.
How to be a supporting friend. How to be there for your friends. Because as we know, even your BFF can just turn out to be a backstabber.
So have you had experiences from good friends?
Well, I don't know. I'm American. I'm from California.
Yeah,
the world is my friend.
Yeah, you think everyone is your friend. I know.
Like, you're nice to me. I'm like, oh, you're my best friend.
Oh, wow.
Someone told me you can't have more than one best friend. I'm like, what? I like 100. It's like, you can't have 100. Yeah. There's 100 people in this world that I know I would stand up for, that I know, like, I've got their back. I would die for. There's 100 people in this world I know I would die for.
You have too much in your life.
No.
In your
and then there's like the general friends, and they're like a couple of thousand.
Oh, wow.
And then
Who
you
am
have
I? To which group do I belong to?
Oh, you're like the outer rims.
You're the para.
Exactly. You're part of the 100,000.
Oh, wow.
No, Lynn, you're part of the 100. You know that.
I thought I'd be part of 10, but I guess you have to be okay with the 100.
The 10. Oh, that's like, I don't know.
I'm okay. It's okay. I mean, you have so many old friends, so I guess.
Know. Well, okay, listen. If we've known each other after like 15 years, then you get moved into like the old section.
Really?
That's a special section for people who've known me.
Okay, when did we meet? We meet in, wait, let me see. So I got...
Let's see, you were like 15 when I met you.
No! I'm not one of your confirmation kids. Wait. So I came to Sweden in 2011, and then I got baptized in 2012, and then probably I came to cross culture in 2013.
Yeah.
So now it's 2021.
That's amazing.
So
That's
we've
like
known each other for
8 years.
8 years. We've known each other for 8 years.
Yeah.
So double, okay. I can do that.
Yeah, so
just don't die from me.
Oh, well, then I have to go down and wait and take care of myself, eat well, sleep well, limit stress, make sure I don't have high blood pressure, no diabetes. I mean, that's just too much pressure for me. And I just like die.
I can't be a friend. I'm sorry.
But I do have. I mean, I'm friends with some people who I've been friends with since I was 10.
In diapers.
Oh,
so,
no.
Yeah, 10.
Well, my oldest friend, the oldest person I know is a guy named Dean. And Dean and I were kind of like friends, but we're not as close friends as we used to be. Mm-hmm. But we still see each other on Facebook and stuff like that.
Periphery.
Yeah. So we're like, but Dean, if you're listening, hey, man, what's up? But Dean and I have been, he was like my first friend.
Oh,
and there was a girl named Eve, and I tried to learn French because she spoke French. That's how influenced I am by friends. She's a nice girl. She speaks French. I'm going to learn French, Mama. She's my mom's.
Okay,
like,
so
whatever.
How do you think can you be a good friend? How to be a supporting friend? Why do you need supporting friends? What's the purpose of supporting friends?
Because I think that God created us to be social people.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
without interaction, like it's just not normal for us not to have any interaction with other people.
So if you listen to this podcast and have no interaction or very limited interaction with other people, you better go and check it out because that's not
Yeah,
natural.
yeah. It actually can like retard growth, like growth and development. Yeah, I mean they did these.
You become a retard.
No, Liam, you can't say stuff like that. It's not politically correct. To all the people out there who this might apply to, we don't mean you. we also we should be beep.
That's an American thing.
Is it an American thing?
Yeah.
You guys don't beep things in Germany?
No,
So when someone says something offensive, what do?
they just cut it out.
So it's just like, so you dirty
No, people don't show that at all.
And now, okay, you
Yeah.
see, wow.
They just say they uttered some inappropriate language, blah, blah. And then you can find it on YouTube. So,
Okay.
but on public TV, they usually don't show this kind of
Okay.
things.
It's not like in Sweden. All the swear words are allowed here. They're just like, whatever filth you want to spread, just say it.
I know. When I listen to the radio, I'm always like bothered by people swearing. I'm like, why? There are
Yeah.
children listening. Why do you need to do that?
Because they're just trying to show their moral decay.
Okay.
They're not as good as we are. No. Okay,
Bad
but anyway, about
difference.
this thing
Supporting
about
friends.
supporting friends. So they did this experiment with children, and they found out that they had put these children in a cage with no human contact, or in a room with
When
no
was
human contact.
that?
A long time ago.
Okay.
Before-
Better be a really long time
Before
ago.
human rights showed.
Okay. Yeah.
And they found out that what happened was the kids died.
No, but it wasn't in the cage. I think
It
was
was like
the-
in a room or something.
there was some king that wanted to, or I don't know if it's the same, but now we're talking like the story I know is about the languages. That the king
Okay.
wanted to know what was the language God wanted us to speak. So obviously he would have, I think, 10 babies, infants, and they would be taken care of by nuns or whatever, and they were not allowed to speak
Okay.
anything.
So
and
you
then
had
they died.
adults going, "Goo, goo, 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 gah."
No.
They just died.
Yeah, they
Okay.
died. That was
No,
bad.
this was an experiment with no touch. So they weren't. The kids
Will
didn't
not touch.
receive any affection, any type of like
That's
encouraging.
cruel.
And so they found out that it actually produced death,
Yeah.
and that the kids who actually could grow a little bit beyond that actually their development was impeded. So
Yeah,
so it was
of course.
so this is the reason why we're saying like supporting friends and especially for
You should
people who
touch
are
them?
married. Yes, I touch all my friends.
You should talk to
See,
them.
that
I
doesn't-
should touch them.
That doesn't sound good because I work as a Lutheran priest. You know, it's like the Lutheran priest said he touches everyone. I'm like, you know what kind of person they are. I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, people, let's not be so sensitive, okay? You
Let me touch you.
Let me shake your hand.
No,
I
okay.
wanna be
We are not.
supportive.
No, we are not
See, this is
about
the thing.
touching
Ever
stuff.
since we're always joking about stuff, I'm like, this is a very serious thing. And so, Lynn, I'm going to
No,
use
okay.
my pastor voice.
So you were saying when you're supporting friend, and then people who are married, yes.
Yes, and so because people who are married, so here's a statistic that says that married men are some of the loneliest people on the planet.
Really?
Yeah, so that's why a lot of married men kill themselves
Why?
because
They don't get touched.
no, well, some of them don't. That's another problem. But I think we cover that sometimes in like the problems of having a marriage without sex.
Sexless.
Yes,
Yeah.
but there's what happens is that so many people go so deeply into their marriage, into the two of us, that they exclude, they cut off everything else. And what happens is there's no one person. Only God can fulfill all your needs. So once you cut people out of your life, you're also
done.
cutting the ability for you to be able to bounce your ideas, share, be affected by people, be blessed by their gifting and everything. And so what happens that it makes the amount of what's the word in English? Intryck.
Impression.
Thank you. It makes
You're
the
welcome.
amount of impressions that come in, all the stimulation, everything.
Input.
Is input, yeah. So it's like it's so much less, and it makes life less.
Yeah.
So that we know that people who die
depressed.
of loneliness and people who feel disconnected to other people don't feel good. It's a lot of psychological and mental health issues because of that. So friendship is good, and you want to have good supporting friends. So it's important for health and development, long life, happiness in life. So it's really important to have friends, and especially when you're married, it shouldn't be that just because you're married, all of a sudden you can't have friends. But a lot of couples run their marriage that way. They let them,
I know.
You can only be with me, only talk to me,
And we can
share with
only
me.
meet other couples.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because every single person is a potential for my mate to go out and be cheating on me. I was like, wow.
So much trust.
I'm like, so what would you do in that situation? Is that why you're like that? But oh well. But yeah, so and it's not healthy for couples to only meet couples. Sometimes it's really healthy for couples to meet singles. It's healthy for singles to meet couples.
Yeah.
And a lot of
There's an
singles do
exchange.
complain that they lose their friends when they start to not even get married. Just they start dating. They just get interested in someone.
Yeah, you're
and all of a
done.
sudden you're like, see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't know who you are. What's your name? Get away, stranger.
Like, oh, there was so much going on in my life. So sorry.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah, it's because now I have
yeah.
a God, a real God I can touch.
Wow.
So, yeah, so the whole supporting thing, but of course, that means every person you bring into your life, every person you allow yourself to get close to, then the whole vulnerability thing comes up, and that means you could potentially be hurt by everyone.
Well, it means that you should not pour out your whole life and whole soul into some random person you
Or you
just met.
be used to getting hurt.
No, you shouldn't
Yeah.
do that. No, then you
Yeah.
become like avtrubbad.
Yeah,
What's that?
jaded.
Jaded?
Yeah.
Is that a word?
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't mean you become a piece of jewelry that you hang around your wrist or
jade.
something. Jade
you get
earrings.
jaded.
Yeah. No, but jaded, it means to be avtrubbad. Yeah.
Like you
So-
get hurt so much you don't even care anymore.
Yeah, you just you isolate your heart. You just keep people at a distance.
But that's really
You
bad.
become cactus. As soon as somebody gets close, you're like, "Spies out! Don't touch me! I'll stick you."
I know
So-
several people like that. I'm like, whoa.
You know, but that's because you allow your pain to dictate your future. Actually, what happens is that because of what people have done in the past, you judge everyone in the future, which is a stupid thing to do. Because those people haven't done anything. You have to give everyone an opportunity to prove that they're jerks or not. You can't.
But I
just make
still
that up.
understand people being more cautious.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to
You don't have to do the same mistakes again and
You don't
again
have to
and again
all of a
until
sudden
you meet.
I met you today, and now I'm going to give you my bank account number, and we're going to move in together, and I don't own anything anymore. I'm just
stupid.
going to. I mean, exactly. But sometimes
People do that.
what happens is that people become hurt because they've done stupid things. And that's what happens in friendship. Sometimes we give power or we give information or we give an openness to people who have no business
Knowing that.
knowing that, getting there, being there. So you have to be wise.
Well, that's a different episode then about being wise.
Yeah, how to be wise about making friends.
I think,
And that's hard because people are fake.
Would you say that you are a good friend, that you're a supporting friend?
Boy, I think that's a hard question. I think that when you're around me, you probably would think I'm a really good friend. The problem is that I move around a lot.
You're
until I
not.
move to Canada. And because I open my life up to so many people.
Yeah.
So I don't isolate. I don't say like, these are my 10 friends. I can only hang around these 10 people. There's always room at my friendship table for another chair. It never gets full. I can always bring someone else in, and it makes it. Some people get offended by that. So some people,
I'm like, hey, we are exclusive. aren't
well,
we?
no, it's like
Too
my
many
friend told
people.
me, it's like, I hate walking with you in town because every 5 steps someone comes up, hey, Ed, and then they get their little 5 minutes, and then we
Yeah.
take another couple. I'm like, what should I do? Should I go like, sorry, I'm hanging with this friend right now. I don't have time for you. Read my hand.
I usually just like wave and then keep walking. If you keep walking, people will not stop you.
But see, people aren't used to me being that way.
Yeah, so you are now like, well, I started this trend, so now I can't stop.
Exactly. I mean, no, it's just like I don't know. It's just I make weird friendships
True.
because I'm really
Look at me.
you're just a weird friend. Ooh. I'm on
but
a
we
roll
don't-
today. No, but I think that what happens is that because I'm a really complicated person, so I try to.
You say that as if other people are so simple.
They are compared to me. No, I mean I have a lot of interest and I do a lot of things, and I
Too
don't
much.
really have a group,
No.
so I don't really belong to anything. I mean,
So sad.
I don't belong to an ethnic group. I mean, physically I do, but genetically I do, but not really. I don't belong to any special Christian group.
You
I
belong
mean-
to your wife.
Which one?
What are you talking about?
No, of course. No, but that's like a special thing. I mean, that relationship with your spouse is an exclusive relationship that no one else can partake in, but we're just talking about just general friendship. Then I think that the hard thing for people is that I am kind of the way you see me is the way I am.
Which is good, because then you know what you're buying.
Yeah, but sometimes you keep thinking it's going to change, and that just doesn't change.
But that's like...
you buy...
That's people.
You buy cornmeal, you keep looking in the bag, it's like, it's still cornmeal.
Like, hey, I thought it would turn into like cornbread.
Exactly.
Well, what's happening?
Yeah, you don't get cornbread. You just get cornmeal with me.
So do you think I'm a supporting friend?
Yeah.
I'm not really a supporting friend.
You support me.
But you know our friend Hamida, she was joking with me. She said, like, you don't have to give the encouragement. You have to give the throwing shade. Like, yeah.
But,
no.
But that's a good friend. You need people. I mean, you and I often when we talk about things, and I have my emotional moments here.
Outpourings.
Like, Lynn, I just don't know what to do. And you're just like, stop being a baby. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
Get yourself together, okay? Stop
Be
whining
a man.
about
Stop
this.
whining. I was like, all right. That tough love is shaping me up. I can feel now.
You can't go home to your wife and whine.
You know, that Lynn, she's so mean to me. Okay. Yeah, but you are a good friend because, and I think that's the good thing about you is that you can get pissed at me and you'll tell me you're pissed off and you'll tell me why, but we're still friends. Or
you think we're still friends.
Exactly. He's like, I don't know how deep the knife goes, but something's tingling in my back, Lynn. Every time I see you, it just twists a little bit harder. I don't know what's going on. No, but people are like, are they really friends? I think they hate each other. The podcast is going to end. The relationship's over. Nope. Sorry. This is honored by
like
God.
that.
We are called by the heavenly voice. No, okay. But I think that, and that's why I consider you like a real friend. Because you're not like, oh, Ed, you're so great and wonderful, which, I get enough of all the time.
Oh my gosh. Your head is exploding.
Not yet, but it will get there soon. No, and then I think that you're really straightforward. And it's one of the things I appreciate about you because
not everyone can take that.
No, not everyone can take that. And sometimes you hurt my feelings. I go home and I cry, and it's like, I think Lynn hates me now. And then it turns out that I'm just being sensitive that day because,
Because you have PMS.
PMS. I was going to say that. I was like, is that appropriate to say? I'm a man. But I guess if I'm feeling like a woman on that day, then it's okay for me to have PMS. Depends on how I identify myself.
No, stop it. Don't dig into that one.
Okay. And I think that, but also in that, like in our friendship, I think that one of the things is that, we know that if it was something really serious, we could talk about it. We knew that, like, I know that you have my back and I hope you know that I have your back. And I think that's the way it is with a lot of people in our community. So it's like our producer, Lowry, and stuff. I trust him, like, explicitly, you know.
He's a very trustworthy guy.
Yeah. And he's like...
very loyal.
Exactly. And that's a good trait, though, I think, in friends, is that a good friend requires a certain level of loyalty. Like, I don't have to agree with you. You don't have to agree with me about every single thing in life. And we can still be really good friends. Yeah. Because sometimes you have to disagree. Sometimes you have to...
You're a different person, so...
Yeah, obviously, and I'm always right, so... I mean,
so you're going to be wrong sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I think that's the hardest part. It's that, like, sometimes you could feel like you're a good friend to people, but there's certain things that they can't handle. And so it limits that friendship. Like, I can't be as good a friend to someone who can't receive truth, or someone who is going to put an unfair requirement on me that I have to be someone I'm not.
Yeah.
So, I mean, some people have said things like if I actually lost two really good friends who told me that in order to be friends with them, I have to not talk about God. And that's just not going to happen because that's part of who I am. It's the life I live.
Didn't they mean that you should not brainwash them? I mean, obviously, you're working in the church. No, but you're a Christian, so what are you supposed to...
But they've also worked in the church. And we've done ministry together and things like confirmation and things. So we've done lots of church things together.
Yeah.
And so it'd be kind of weird to never talk about, like, our past.
Yeah.
Oh, remember that person that we had confirmation? They got married now.
Wow.
And they were just said, we don't want you to talk about God or church or anything like that.
Wow.
So it wasn't like if they had been non-believers and just said, like my neighbor, when I first met my neighbor when we first moved to Uppsala. Yeah. And he met me and we introduced ourselves and he's like, oh, what are you here for? I'm like, oh, I'm studying theology. I'm going to become a priest in the Church of Sweden. And he's like, oh, don't talk to me about God or religion or anything like that. I'm like, I didn't say anything. You just asked me what I was going to do. I'm just telling you, man. Come on, calm down. He's like, I'm just saying that I don't believe in God. Okay,
okay. So
I'm like, okay, I just want to talk to him. But every month, he's asked me, so how did it go at church today?
Oh, that's
what about
cute.
the wedding? We talk about God all the time. I'm like, what is okay, whatever.
So apparently he means like, I want to talk with you about God when I want to,
on my terms.
but just don't tell me about your issues with God.
Exactly. And so I think that is these two people that broke friendship with me weren't like that. It wasn't like, don't try to convert me or something. Mm-hmm. Some of my Muslim friends have asked me, hey, I'm a Muslim. I don't want to become a Christian or whatever. I'm like, it's going to come up.
At some point.
They're like, yeah, but if that's the only reason you want me to be your friend, it's just because you want me to get saved and I'm your sort of Christian object, then we're not friends. So I'm like, no. I mean, of course I want you to be saved. Yeah. Of course I want to share Jesus with you. Yeah. But that's not my reason for being friends with you. I'm friends with you because I like you and we share some interest and we have fun together. Yeah. That's pretty much it. So but I think that level of loyalty, that to know that, so one of my best friends, I have three really good friends. So Raymond, Carol, and Rita. Mm. Rita I've known since junior high school. Yeah. Raymond and Carol since high school. Mm-hmm. Raymond and I, we had classes together. So Raymond and I have been friends for since 1977.
If you guys want to hear more about that group of friends, you can listen to our episodes about best friends forever.
Yeah. And so, but one of the things is that I can call Raymond or Carol or Rita now.
Anytime, yeah.
Anytime. And they'll listen to whatever I have to say. They'll talk to me. I think that if other people are saying, "Oh, man, Ed's just a jerk. Why are you friends with him? He's like, he left the States. He lives in Sweden." Like they would still stand up for me.
Yeah.
And so that makes that friendship over the long haul and stuff like that. Yeah. So I think you need, if you want to be a good friend,
supporting friend,
you got to have a little bit of loyalty. You got to have a measure of honesty. You got to be yourself.
What about now we're talking about loyalty, but then what if your friend does something that's really dumb, or they ask you for your opinion or not your opinion, but tells you some story or some situation, and you just feel like, well, that's really wrong, dude.
That's a hard one.
Because you're supposed to be supporting. So let's say that person had some conflict with a third person. Mm. And then, you're supposed to be loyal to your friend. Yeah. But then your friend has done some really dumb thing to the third person.
Has been a jerk.
So what you gotta do?
I mean, if you have sometimes you have to be willing to risk the friendship. So a good supporting friend will risk the friendship in order to do something that's actually good for the other person. Yeah. So I don't get any benefit out of this. I'm taking a chance. I might lose a good friend, but I'd have to tell the person, you've been a jerk. The way you treated this person wasn't really fair, and you're not being fair right now. That's just how I see it. This is the reason why. Take it or leave it. Yeah. Because you can't force people to take truth, but you can deliver it. But it's still hard. I mean, I'm in a situation now where that the person didn't ask my opinion about something, but I find that part of the things that they're going through right now, I think is wrong. And I think that their attitude about it is wrong. And sometimes that silence, it causes people they read into it.
Yeah, they think that you're okay with everything they told you because you didn't say anything.
Yeah, because I haven't said anything. I was like, man, you're wrong. Why are you being so stupid? And I didn't say anything. I was just listening, going, oh, okay. Oh, man, I know how you feel. I was being really supportive. I felt like,
no.
and it's hard because I don't really know where that level of truth. It makes it easier for me when people say,
what do you think?
What do you think? Yeah. Now I told you all this. What's your opinion? Or what would you do in my case? Then all of a sudden, now the gloves are off. Now I just deliver the punches I need to deliver. Bam!
Because you asked for it.
Exactly.
But for me, it's a common friend we are having too, and he's really struggling in life. And I just told him, there's often he just comes around and just complains about the same thing that's going on, and I'm like, and then in the end, I was just saying, there's nothing else I can say because all the things I already told you. Yeah. I'll still be your friend, but basically like, don't come whining no more because I can't hear it anymore. Like they're coming with the same issue again and again. We talked about it and we figured out what can you do about this? What should you do? And you refuse. You just want to do something else. And I'm like, okay, but that's your decision. I'm your friend. I want to support you, but I will not be your emotional trash bag because I don't know why you're doing this, but you're doing this to yourself.
But some people, I think that in order to be a good friend, you can only be a good friend to someone who is a good friend. It's hard if you try to be a good friend to someone who's a bad friend. It just ends up being out of balance.
Yeah, it drains you.
You know, I mean, people who they want you to be loyal, but they're not loyal. So I have this guy who's supposed to be my friend, and our friendship sort of, in my eyes, it sort of goes up and down because. So here's a person who's always telling me what everyone else is always saying negative about me. It never comes with any comments. It's like, oh, but I defended you. But I think we all know that people who, like, the reason people are saying negative things is not because they just, oh, but you're friends with Ed. Let me tell you about him. It's usually because that person's starting the conversation. So what do you think about Ed?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, you know, he's like this and that or whatever. And then the person's like, oh, like sometimes when we give people permission.
Yeah, they'll talk trash.
They'll just talk trash because it's like, oh, well, let's talk trash. Some people like to just trash talk about other people. And I noticed that he tries to do that to me. He's like, oh, what do you think about this theologian? What do you think about this priest? Or this person said this about you.
So you know how they are behind your back.
After years, I'm keep thinking, I'm like, I wonder if you do this to me with other people, you must be doing this about me to, you know, those people that you're talking to.
Yeah.
And so it kind of makes me, what's happened through the years
is that your friend, though.
That person has moved from being a really close friend
to the periphery.
No, they're not that far out, but they're further away from where they were.
Yeah, guys, if you want to hear more about this, you can listen to the episode Kicking Your Friends to the Curb.
You remember all the episodes. I can't believe it. My mind is like, we've had a podcast that just went on for years.
Yeah, it has. It has a lot of episodes too.
And so,
did you never listen to our podcast?
Yeah, but I don't remember like as episodes. I just remember we talked about this, we talked about that, and
then sometimes we talk in private, and you're like, "I thought we have an episode." No, we probably not.
Yeah. Sometimes our conversations are like our podcast.
Yes.
Which, if you guys knew how we came up with these ideas and stuff, oh my gosh, you would all be like, "Okay, crackheads, I got it."
Listen to the Olympic commentators. This is how it works usually.
Yeah, that's how it works, exactly.
But I think for me, being a supportive friend, I don't know, like, I'm like you, I'm also an extrovert, so I have a lot of friends, and friends come and go, and like different seasons in life and so on, and I'm really happy for Facebook because that's how I can keep in touch, because otherwise there would be no way for me to be able to keep up with all the information, all the things that are going on.
Do you keep up with everybody's birthday too? It's like a
No.
birthday. Okay.
No.
Neither do I, because some weeks I just don't have time. I'm like, I look at the list and I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's like 20 people. And then I just get like panic.
You're like, okay, it's just fair if I don't wish happy birthday to anyone.
Yeah, exactly. How did you know I think like that? Oh my gosh.
Because I'm like you.
I knew you were like my sister. I'm going to call my mom.
But, you know, I think that being, I don't know, like if you guys listen to the Best Friends Forever episode, like for me, I don't have lifelong friends because somehow, like I moved and then that best friend just disappeared, or I become really close with some person, then they go away, and then it's not. I mean, for me, I don't have lifelong friends like that in the same sense like you have. But I don't know if I'm a supportive friend really. Like I know that people consider me their friends, but I don't know if I'm really supportive. But I think they usually call me up and tell me stuff when they want to hear. I mean, in our church, raw truth.
in church, people I'll find out stuff because what people said to you.
Yeah, not to you.
No one comes to me.
No one talks to you.
It's really weird. I keep thinking like...
Or they want to come to you for counseling.
No.
But not for the random stuff.
No, exactly. All the juicy bits that I really want to know. I want to know about your sin and how far down you are. Where's the devil really leading you, you know? And people won't tell me. They're just like, give me all the polished version.
I'm like,
and
I'm fine.
And then they're like, you know, I'm just out there, you know, I'm
watching
like
porn,
selling
drinking.
baby pee to make money and make ends meet. And, you know, I don't know. I just got started on this other stuff. And then I started doing these, you know, dog things on TikTok. And I don't know. You know, I'm like,
I think we should have another episode about being supportive friends.
Yeah, I think so, too. Because, I mean, now we've just sort of scratched the surface.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I guess we just picked the fleas off the dog. And now we've got to apply the shampoo.
Okay, guys. So keep tuned and listen to the second part of our being a supportive friend.
This will probably be several parts. We'll probably talk about different aspects of it. And then as you hear about this stuff, like if you feel like, oh, wow, you guys can cover this, let us know. We'll do a lot of more episodes about this.
Yeah, send us your stories. Send us your questions, your comments. Come on, guys.
Yes. And tell us your juicy bits.
We're waiting for it.
Yes. Well, thanks, everyone, for watching. Listen. I'm so crazy. It's because I'm watching you. And you're watching me.
Yeah.
I know. We're watching each other, making sure we're not doing anything bad.
Okay, guys. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
Thank you for listening. If you have any comments or ideas, please send us a message to fikaforlife@mail.com. Fika, F-I-K-A. This was the Fika for Life podcast with Linh and Edward Thomas, and we hope to hear you again.